Have you ever looked back and realized how quietly the years slip by? And with them, certain habits begin to take root in our lives without us even noticing? As we grow older, it's easy to fall into patterns that, without meaning to, can create distance between us and the people we care about most. In today's video, we're exploring 13 subtle yet powerful habits that might be silently damaging your relationships. These habits aren't always loud or obvious. In fact, many of them come from a place of love, worry, or life experience. But left unchecked, they can push away even those who love you deeply. Stick around to the end, because recognizing these habits isn't just about self-awareness. It's about embracing small, powerful shifts that can help nurture closer, more fulfilling connections with the people who matter most. And before we dive in, if you find value in content like this, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing timeless lessons on aging with grace, connection, and purpose. And if you're still with me at any point in this video, drop a number in the comments so I know you're watching, because your presence here means the world to me. Let's get started. Habit 1. Constant complaining. As the years pass, life can become a little heavier. Your body might not move like it used to. The news feels more chaotic than comforting. Prices go up while patience runs low. And sometimes, just getting through the day feels like an achievement. It's only human to want to talk about the frustrations. In fact, sharing your feelings is healthy and normal. But when every conversation turns into a list of complaints, something subtle begins to happen. The people around you, those who love you, may start to feel emotionally drained. Imagine calling someone you care about, hoping to share a laugh or an update, but instead, the entire conversation becomes a downpour of negativity. Over time, they may start to call less often, not because they don't love you, but because it's hard to carry the weight of both your emotions and their own. Think about Helen, a sweet grandmother in her 70s. Every time her daughter called, Helen would immediately start complaining about her noisy neighbor, about her arthritis, about how everything used to be better in the old days. Eventually, her daughter began calling less frequently, not out of disrespect, but out of emotional exhaustion. Here's the truth. Sharing your frustrations is valid, but it shouldn't define every interaction. A beautiful way to balance this is to practice something simple yet powerful: gratitude. For every complaint, try to pair it with a small joy. A blooming flower you saw outside, a neighbor's kind gesture, a delicious cup of tea. By intentionally sprinkling light into your conversations, you make them more uplifting for yourself and those who care about you. Habit 2. Talking only about health problems. As we grow older, health inevitably becomes a bigger part of our lives. Aches and pains, doctor's visits, new medications. It's a constant conversation in our own heads, so it's natural that it spills over into our interactions. But when your health becomes the only topic you talk about, it changes the dynamic between you and your loved ones. Think of your granddaughter or your son coming over to visit. They might want to hear about your childhood stories or your opinion on a recent movie. But if every time they sit down, they hear a detailed update on your blood pressure, your backache, your medications, they might start to feel like visitors at a clinic, not guests in your heart. It's not about ignoring your health. It's about remembering that you are so much more than your symptoms. You are still a whole, vibrant person with thoughts, humor, opinions, and memories to share. Take Margaret, for instance. She loved her granddaughter Lily deeply. But every time Lily visited, Margaret would launch into a long list of ailments. Over time, Lily started visiting only on holidays. Not because she didn't care, but because she missed the joyful, storytelling grandmother she once knew. So if health comes up, acknowledge it, but don't linger there. You might say, "My knee's been acting up lately, but I'm managing." By the way, have you seen that new show everyone's talking about? A simple redirection keeps the energy flowing and the connection strong. Habit 3. Being too opinionated. There's something powerful about reaching a certain age. You've lived, you've endured, you've seen the world change in ways most younger people can't imagine. Your experiences have taught you invaluable lessons, and you've earned the wisdom you carry. But there's a delicate line between sharing that wisdom and forcing it. When opinions come across as absolutes, as the only right way to do something, it can shut others down, especially younger family members who are still finding their way. Consider Harold, a retired school principal. He was known for being wise and principled. But when his daughter began raising her children differently from how he had raised her, he couldn't help but offer constant, unsolicited critiques. "You're too soft," he'd say. "That's not how we did it in my day." Eventually, his daughter began to pull away, not out of rebellion, but self-protection. The truth is, even when your intentions are loving, your words can feel like judgment. Try this. When someone shares something you disagree with, instead of correcting them, ask a question. "That's interesting. What made you decide that?" Or say, "I've never thought about it that way." You're not silencing your voice. You're creating space for dialogue. And that's where real connection grows. Habit 4. Neglecting personal hygiene. This one can be a bit uncomfortable to talk about, but it's important because it affects how others feel around you and how you feel about yourself. As we age, things that used to be simple, taking a shower, changing clothes, keeping the home tidy, can start to feel like heavy tasks. Fatigue, pain, or even depression can quietly take over, and without even realizing it, we begin to let go of basic routines. But when hygiene starts to slip, when clothes are unwashed, breath is stale, or the home smells musty, it sends a subtle message. I don't care anymore. And whether it's true or not, that message can create distance. Take the case of a man named Walter, once a sharp dresser who never left the house without polished shoes. After retirement and the passing of his wife, he slowly stopped caring. His son loved him deeply, but visiting became difficult because Walter's appearance and living space were painful reminders of his decline. Maintaining hygiene isn't just about cleanliness. It's about dignity. It's about saying, I'm still here. I still value myself. If energy is limited, start small. Brush your hair. Change your clothes daily. If tasks feel too big, ask for help. A caregiver, a neighbor, a family member. Most people are more willing than you think. Because when you care for yourself, you invite others to care for you too. Habit 5. Living only in the past. Nostalgia is a beautiful part of aging. Looking back on your youth, remembering the people who shaped you, retelling stories of the good old days, it connects generations and carries wisdom forward. But when every conversation stays anchored in decades gone by, it can quietly close the door to the present. Your children might want to talk about their new job. Your grandchildren might want to show you their favorite music or a funny TikTok video. But if they're always met with stories from 1975, they might begin to feel like they don't belong in your world. Let the past be a bridge, not a barrier. Share your stories, yes, but also ask questions. What's the best thing that happened to you this week? Who's that artist you always talk about? Teach me how to use that app. By showing interest in their now, you show them that you still want to be part of their lives, not just as a storyteller from the past, but as a present and loving influence. Habit 6. Gossiping or criticizing younger generations. It's a story as old as time. One generation doesn't understand the next. The music, the slang, the way they dress, or how they stare at their phones all day, it can be baffling. But when observations turn into constant criticism, something sad happens. The bridge between you and them begins to crumble. Take David, a grandfather who loved his teenage grandson deeply. But every time they spoke, David would comment on how that phone is ruining your brain, or how young people don't know how to work hard anymore. The boy started to visit less, feeling more judged than loved. Criticism closes hearts. Curiosity opens them. Try this instead. I don't understand your world, but I'd love to learn. Show me how that app works. What's that song you're always playing? You don't have to like everything about their generation. But when you show respect, you earn connection. Habit 7. Refusing to learn or adapt. The world moves fast. Every year brings new technology, new systems, new ways of doing things. And it's easy to feel left behind, or to simply throw up your hands and say, I'm too old for this. But here's the truth. Refusing to learn new things doesn't protect your dignity. It limits your connection. When you say no to learning how to send a text, join a video call, or use a new device, you might be saying no to moments of love and laughter, like seeing your granddaughter's face on a birthday video chat, or reading a sweet message from an old friend. Think of Margaret, 82, who learned how to use Zoom in a local library class. At first, she was overwhelmed, but now she video calls her great-grandchildren every Sunday. She plays online chess. She emails recipes to her niece. Her life didn't just get more connected, it got more joyful. Learning doesn't mean mastering, it means trying. And when you try, people notice, and they lean in closer. And there you have it, 13 habits that, while subtle, can quietly erode your relationships over time. But the beauty is this. Every single one of them can be changed with just a little awareness, a little grace, and a little effort. Growing older is a gift. And the relationships we keep, nurture, and heal, those are the treasures that make this chapter of life so deeply meaningful. So now, tell me in the comments, which of these habits resonated with you most? And what's one change you're going to make starting today? Let's grow together with kindness, curiosity, and compassion. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more empowering content. Until next time, stay warm, stay connected, and stay beautifully you.